Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Automate with Girish. In this video, we're going to solve one interview question. So this is the task, and this is the input data, and this is the output data. So we have to calculate the total time worked for a unique task of unique department. So for UI activity, this is the task and the department is development. So if again UI activity for the same department occurs, so we'll add the time worked. So for this UI activity, time worked is 4 hours, and here also we have the same UI activity and for the same department. So the output will be development, department name, task name, and the total time worked. So 4 plus 4 equal to 8. And for AA and task and the department is development, so it's 3 because this is the single row actually. And for AA testing, here also AA testing is present and here also AA testing is present. So it will give me the output 1 plus 8 equal to 9 AA testing. And for UI activity and the department is testing, so it's giving me 4 because this is the only single row for testing department and the task is UI activity. So we'll see how we can solve this. So for this, first I'll cut paste the output in sheet 3. I'll save the Excel, and so first I'll use open command from Excel advanced package to open the Excel file. I'll give the path of the file, sheet contains headers, yes, specific sheet. When we have only single sheet in our Excel file, then we don't need to mention the sheet name. But when we have multiple sheets, in my case we have 3 sheets, so here we have to mention the sheet name. So I'll give sheet 1. I have to read the data from sheet 1, and I'll give the session default. And after reading the data, I'll use from Excel advanced package, I'll use get multiple cell command to read all the rows and store it inside the variable t excel sheet data. And after this, I'll close my Excel. Once I have the data in table data variable, then I'll close my Excel, and I'll give the session same as default only. So once we have the data in table variable, so I'll delete the first I'll from data table package, I'll assign the data this table variable into another table variable because we have to perform some manipulation in this table. So we will keep the original table in another variable. So I'll give t excel sheet data, and I'll give the variable name as t excel sheet data 1. So after this, we will delete the column from t excel sheet data, and I'll give the column name. Here basically we have to, once again, here when I'm reading the data, so I'll delete these two columns and I'll keep only these two columns. And after, when we have only these two columns, I'll remove the duplicate value from here this table. And when I have unique value, then I'll loop this unique value data inside the Excel, that is the original table t Excel sheet data 1 table. So for this, first I'll delete this column because I don't need this column. And here I'll pass time worked. We can also give index here, like for column 1 we can give 0 index, and for column 4 we can give 3 index, but I am deleting column by column name. So once we have deleted the column, so I'll drag and drop remove duplicate rows from T Excel sheet data. And once I have removed the duplicate value, so for better understanding, I'll drag and drop write to file. I'll select the Excel sheet data, means what our data contains. For this, I am just writing the data inside CSV file for better understanding. CSV, create folders, and I'll run my code. It's downloading some packages, that's why it's taking some time loading package. So it will open the Excel first and then read the data from Excel inside data table variable, and then it will write the data table variable after deleting the column inside CSV file. So we'll see the CSV file. So this is the data that we contains after manipulation. So it contains only two columns, and the data is unique: development UI activity, development A, testing A, and testing UI activity. So now I'll loop this data into original Excel file, that is original table data. So this data also contained in a table variable. So I'll loop this data into original, and if the match is found, then I'll one second, I'll show you. So when the match is found, so I'll loop development UI activity here, and if the match is found development UI activity, I'll store this value time of value in a variable, and then again if the match is found, I'll loop this data entire row, all the rows of this Excel file, and if the match is found, then I'll store 4 in a variable, and if again match found, then 4, and the output will be the 4 plus 4 8, and the development UI activity, department is development and task is UI activity. So we'll see how we can do this. So we can delete this CSV file. This is just for understanding. After deleting the column, is what my table variable contains. I can disable this. So I'll drag and drop loop command. Here I'll select for each row in table, and I'll select the T Excel sheet data, and I'll store the output in our table row. So after this, I'll again drag and drop one loop, and again I'll select table. This is my original table that contains original Excel sheet data, this one, and I'll store the output in R table row 1. So if I'll drag and drop if condition, here I'll select string condition. So from this, like R table row, so here I'll select R table row by name, and the name is department. So I'll give the name department. We have to copy paste the same name, else we will get the error. So I'll give the department here, and if this data is equal to this data, this R table row, R table row. So here I'll delete one. So if the match is found, and this is for department, and we have to do the same for task also. So here I'll give this, and copy paste task here. Here I'll paste task, and I'll delete one. So here we have to select and if both the condition department of this table is equal to this table and task of this table is equal to this table, then only go inside this loop. And once we come inside this loop, I'll create one variable here, assign. Initially I'll store inside this 0, and I'll give the variable name as time work and time work. And once I come inside this loop, so I'll assign dollar and time work plus R table row 1, and that is this row data, and I'll give the name time work. So when the match is found, development and UI. So if the match is found, then I'll copy the time worked value, and I'll add it with 0, and I'll store it in a and time worked. So we'll see the output till here first. Message box. I'll drag and drop message box outside this loop, and here I will paste. So R table row, let me give here department, and here we have to give the department from this row, that unique value, and control C. Here I'll give task, and what we want, this time, and time work. So I'll give and time work. So this is the string number variable. So I'll convert it into string variable. I'll run my code. It will open the Excel, it will read the data and delete, perform the operation, and after that it's giving me development UI activity 8. So we'll match the output. So it's giving me development UI activity 8. Yes, correct. Then development department is development, task is AA, and end time work is 3. Okay, this is also right. Again testing and AA, and it's giving me 9. Yes, correct. And for the department testing and the task is UI activity and the end time work is 4. So yes, we are getting the correct output. Now we have to write this data inside Excel file. So for this, again I will drag and drop, copy paste this open Excel command here also, because when we have to write the data. So because I'm closing my Excel here, so I'll again drag and drop open command, and here I'll uncheck this checkbox, because in sheet 2 there is no header present. And I'll give my sheet name sheet 2, and I'll keep the session name default only. And here I'll select set cell command from Excel Advanced, and here I'll also create one variable, one number variable, to store the row count. So for this I'll create n counter, row count of the Excel. That's why I'm creating one variable n counter 1. So when it will loop for first time, so I'll increment the variable n counter by 1. So it will write the data inside first row of the Excel. So n counter, increment the value by 1 and store the output in n counter only. So here I'll give column A, and I'll pass n counter. So in first row we have to write the data dot to string, and cell value would be the department. I'll copy paste the same command for 2 times, and here I will pass D. In D column we have to write task. So we give task here, and on C column we have to write dollar and time work dot to string. We have to convert the number into string variable. So we'll see the output now. So it will open the Excel, it will read the data, then it will perform the operation. and it will write the data inside sheet 2. So development UI activity 8, then development A3, then testing A9, and then testing UI activity 4. So we got the output, but here we are only printing department when the task contain UI activity. When the task contain UI activity, then only we are writing department name. But in our output we are writing department for every task. So we have to make one last change here. So we'll see how we can achieve this. Control S. So I'll disable this message box. So we have to drag and drop if condition. So if, like, when this task when task contain, I'll give string condition here. When this task contain this UI activity. So when this task contain UI activity, don't then only we have to write the department name. And when it's contain A, then we don't have to write department name. So this is the logic. We'll see. If this task equal to UI activity, then only drag and drop this set cell command inside this, and then only write this department name, else don't write. I'll delete this message box, and I'll delete this data table also. And when we are opening the Excel, then we have to write the close command as well. So at the end, drag and drop close command, and I'll give the session name as default. And yes, we are good to go. I'll run the code now. So every time when we are writing building our bot, always try to use try exception handling also, try and catch block. I'm not using in this bot, but always use try and catch block, and also use step command. Because when we are giving our code to someone else, so he will be, he like, it's better for them to understand your code. So that's why always try to use step command also in your bot. So it's opening the Excel and it's writing the data. Okay. Okay, we'll see the output once again. Like, check the output. We are not getting department here. We'll see why. I'll unselect this match case maybe. Yes, so now I'll run this. once again. So you can see here, now this time we are getting the department. So there was some problem with match case, so you can check that. So if you'll match the output this time, so this is our output and this was the given output. So development UI activity 8, development UI activity 8, for a development a it's 3, for development a it's 3, then testing UI activity is 4, testing UI activity is 4, and for testing a it's 9. So for testing a it's 9. So and that's how we can solve this task. Thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.